live from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs. It's the First Dibs podcast with our hosts, John Deisty and Justin Underwood. Buckle up and let's go for a ride.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back from last night.
That's right. Welcome back to the First Dibs podcast from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs. I'm Justin.
I'm John.
And we've got some special guests with us tonight.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
Yeah, welcome
Thanks for
back.
having us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brendan from Shift Magazine. Introduce
Marty.
yourself.
Yep.
What's going on, man?
Marty from Shift Magazine.
This is Marty from Shift Colorado Magazine.
Yeah, the crowd knows Brendan. Brendan's been here multiple times.
8 billion times, yeah. But Marty's shy. He's going to warm up in a minute.
I will.
Yeah, but that's why you get the first crack at it.
That's right.
So why are you here?
Yeah, so I'm here because about a week ago, Brandon was like, "Hey, man, I've got this pretty fun podcast, and would you like to come with?" And I was like, "Sure thing." But
Okay.
yeah, for reference, usually with Shift Colorado, I'm helping out with the website stuff, kind of just becoming more of a generalist with the magazine. So. When,
Marty's here to replace me.
Hey, I'm.
He's going to push me down the corporate stairs as he climbs the corporate ladder.
We're still looking for ours. So, yeah, that's pretty fun. But welcome, guys. You passed the test. Good job. You're not afraid of a microphone.
Right.
But yeah, we're excited. I think this is the fifth time you guys have been here debuting a magazine.
Sixth time we've been here for a magazine.
How cool is that? So
every single time. Thank you.
So that's pretty fun. Excited to look through this. Thank you for putting my son in it. Excited to kind of show the world that. The podcast people love them, so we won't dwell too much. There's other things, but if you want to read an article, that's a good reason. You
That's
can go.
a great reason.
Yeah.
And I practice this in front of a mirror. Lewis is in there on his own journalistic merit.
That's awesome.
Wow. Listen to that.
That's
there you
pretty
go,
good.
Lewis. Yep. You got an endorsement there.
Right?
Where should we start? Should we start with business real quick?
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to.
Let's get our business out of the way.
Yeah. There's a 2017 911 Turbo S that we don't own, but that was really awesome and you can buy.
That's right.
So let us know if you're looking for like a matte gray or matte black. 2017, so 991.2 Turbo S. That's been tuned up.
Yeah.
From the factory, that would have been 580 horsepower.
Right.
This one just did.
It's 854 horsepower to the wheels.
So that's a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a touch.
And I drove it up the hill on Pilot Sport 4S's
Right.
in the snow.
Right.
And I'm not dead.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, my buddy Chance is the guy that kind of built the car, did all the modifications to it. It's really well done. It's super clean.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know exactly what it takes to buy it, but it's
something.
definitely worth. I mean,
Yeah.
for someone, it can be a daily driver.
It felt like it to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
But no, it's got
As long
great
as you
features.
have a license and don't want to lose it.
Right. Yeah. But Burmester. In the car.
Burmester,
I mean, ceramic
Bordeaux
brakes
red
are-
interior.
Yeah, and actually, I looked at the brakes really closely because I'm always a little bit nervous about ceramic brakes, especially on a modified car. No, these are
Yeah.
great.
A lot
great
of go,
looking condition.
not much
Yep.
stop.
Right, yeah. It's got about, this one, what did you say, 45?
43,000 miles, something like that. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Super clean, but that's one that, seriously, you're just going to have to contact John.
Yeah. Call me and I'll put you in touch with John. And not me, John. There's another John.
Right.
We'll do that. Another turbo, 2015 Turbo S.
2015 Turbo S.
That one, I think it's a black interior.
Yep.
That'd be 560 horsepower, so way slow.
Does it even move?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Exactly.
Super clean car.
26,000 miles, maybe?
Yep. Came
Somewhere
from
around there. Came from Denver.
Older.
Yep.
2014 Cabriolet?
17 C4 cab.
It's a 17?
It's a 17. It's a turbo. Yeah. 17 C4 cab.
That came in
At least the one I
yesterday?
took in. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's interesting. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to look
Yeah.
closer. I saw it out there.
Full leather.
It was outside.
Full leather, black and tan, black exterior.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's jet black metallic. Sport exhaust. Again, very nice car. 15,000 miles.
Yeah.
We'll certify it. So you get the 2-year, 3-year if you want warranty with it.
Yeah.
PDK car.
Right.
Heated seats, cooled seats, all the good things.
Yep.
That car is everything you need. You know, it's kind of a do-it-all 911, all-wheel drive and turbo power and.
Speaking of do it all you need, 2016 Panamera Turbo.
Yeah, that car is
It's super
that
cool.
is really that's got the red interior too.
Black and red interior on agate gray.
Agate gray was what I thought. Yeah,
Pretty cool combo.
the
It's only got 28,000 miles, maybe.
split wing.
Right. Yeah.
It's a transformer in the
fancy
back.
wing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Bang for a buck.
Yeah,
That car.
that's a big one.
That's a lot of car
Yeah.
for the money.
That one we should go do launch control on Mike. not tonight.
Yeah,
not,
no.
not tonight. We got other things.
Uneasy laughter.
Right. Right. Yeah. But we've had a lot. I mean, we've actually had a ton going on.
Yeah.
John's been on a roll.
Yeah, I tried to F it up today,
You tried,
but I
Yep.
fixed it.
Fixed it.
Fixed
Yep.
it. Saved
And hopefully that turns into a delivery tomorrow.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's been crazy. You know, people they just assume that we slow down. You know, when it's slow. You know, when it snows and it's December. December is actually historically a pretty good month for the store.
Yeah.
And we'll have one person coming to buy a gift. at
Jabil
least.
was saying.
Jabil.
Was saying that that was his best month ever when he worked at Lexus.
I believe
that they do he'd do 30 cars.
Well, Lexus also does the December to remember. event,
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. Well, this is a December to remember Porsche event that I've got going on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That means you're taking time off.
No. No. It means I've cut back on my drinking.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. The holidays are here.
Yeah. Well, according to
So that's why it's over there. The cameras can't see it.
oh my god.
I think that was some pretty good business.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I guess the general overall picture is things are good and things
Yep.
are busy. People
Yeah.
are moving. There's been a lot, and even though it's snowing, we're going to get quite a bit of walk-through traffic.
Swap meet.
Is this the? Yeah, this
Swap
is the
meet.
show
Swap
since the
meet.
swap meet.
Yeah.
that was awesome.
That was really awesome.
I'm gonna, tell everyone I was super nervous about that event. We've never done anything like it. I mean, I love the idea, but super nervous just because I don't know. We had 18 people register to be sellers, which was fine. Allowed space for 25, and what it wound up doing is it filled up the people selling. They filled up the main showroom. And then I thought, well, does anyone else besides these people know about the event? Heck yeah. We had people coming and going all day.
That's
It
fantastic.
It was an absolute zoo.
yeah. No, it was a ton of people.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, amazing positive feedback and response from it. It really kind of drove it home where we have to keep doing this, but we got to do it in the summertime. We got to make
Yeah.
it really big. So we'll get to use our entire 12-acre campus that we have here, and try and use up all the space. And
Let's shuttle people in from Walmart.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be great?
They got
Yeah.
some crap to
Yeah,
sell.
we'll park at Walmart.
Why are you
Yeah,
shopping
people-
here? Like,
Yeah.
let me take you somewhere
Yeah,
better.
let's do one of those like Denver sweeps where they sweep out the homeless encampments or whatever it is, and we'll just bring it all down here.
Yeah,
to sell.
that sounds good. We had boba tea.
We had a boba truck.
Yeah, complimentary boba.
Kind of a funny story. That was freaking me out. So it
The boba tea?
not the boba tea. So the guys next door to us had just wrapped this guy's trailer, and he's new in business.
Okay.
And they had mentioned saying like, hey, we just wrapped this guy's boba truck. I'll tell him you're doing this event. All right, cool. Let me know. No one lets me know. So Saturday morning, this guy comes walking in, oh, I'm here with a boba truck. What? Okay, park it here. And I told him, I said, look, it's going to be up to you to get the word out that the dealership is providing your service today. Because if they just walk by your truck and they see your prices, no one's going to buy it. Right. I mean, as it turns out,
30 degrees outside.
as it turns out, boba's kind of expensive. I'm not a boba tea person, right? I'm thinking these are like $3 a piece. No, they're $7 to $10 for these drinks.
Starbucks prices.
And I told this guy, hey,
Food
it's
truck
on,
pricing.
Yeah,
Food
it's
truck
on
pricing.
it's on me today. So spread the word. And John's ordering them, handing them out.
I just
like
went up
crazy.
and ordered 10.
And
And the girl at the window was like, what?
What?
said, yeah, just make me 10 of whatever you want to make me.
So
Okay.
Later in the day, I go down and I was just going to check with them just to say, hey, how are things going? I'm hoping business is good because you're new at this, right? And then one of the guys that's selling says, if you're looking for the boba guy, he had to run out and get more supplies. And I'm like, what? He said, oh yeah, he came in and said, holy moly, this is like, we've done more today than we've done all week. This is fantastic.
Wow.
Then I'm like starting to sweat. I'm thinking, oh my God.
10 times
Like
600.
what? So I'm thinking, what have I done? And I start playing these things out in my mind on how am I going to explain to Joe that we spent $4,000 on boba tea?
This is the point where you negotiate a rate up front.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of sweating it out a little bit, and then I see the boba guy come back, and I walk out to the trailer, and I'm just, him, hey, how's it going? Oh, it's great. How's it going? Great. And I'm like, oh wow, that's fantastic. Business is good. Oh yeah, business is great. And I'm just like, it's too late now. I mean, like I'm kind of screwed, and I'm thinking he's gonna be here for a couple more hours. He put a post out on social media saying where he was gonna be. There were people coming. Now, they were paying for theirs, right? That wasn't on me. He knew that, right? Which was super great. But anyway, so at the end of it, I happened to be up here at my office space when the guy was leaving, when the show was wrapped up. I got tied up. And he comes inside, and Ted, our general sales manager, he recognized him. And the guy says, hey, I really appreciate you for letting us come do this event today. And Ted says, oh, yeah, that's great. I'm glad it all worked out. And make sure we got your contact information because when we do an event next time, people really love your product. We'll be sure to invite you. And he's like, all right, that's awesome. And then Ted just turns around and starts to walk away. And so the boba owner says, one more thing.
About the matter of the check.
He said, Justin told me that he was going to pay for everybody today. And so anyway, that obviously was a kind of a funny instance, like, oh. So I got an emailed invoice, and I was gonna wait till Monday, like the next Monday to open it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with this over the weekend. Anyway, I couldn't live without opening that email. It was $500.
You should have saved it for the podcast. Open it live on air.
Yeah, there you go.
Next time. Let's see
Right.
what
Next
kind of
time.
tab we can rack up.
Yeah, but
All right.
anyway, so
Well, enough about us.
No, I think it's fantastic the swap meet went off. I do want to say we missed it with regrets. We really did want to get a stall here, but unfortunately was out of town last weekend.
that's all right. Next summer,
You
there's
pick
gonna
the
be
date
lots.
next time.
I'll pick the date
You
next
pick
time.
a date that works for you.
Sure.
And we'll arrange our schedules around that.
Perfect. That sounds great to me.
Not really.
I'm sorry. It was said on a podcast. That's a
right.
contract.
Yep. You heard it here first.
One that's not supported, by the way.
That was nice. Last night, for those of you that regularly listen and tune in, last night we did an episode with our GM, Joe. He's been sworn off of our podcast. He can't come on except for he did something cool and set a world record, so we had to have him on. But he said we need an advertising budget, and we need a makeup budget, and we need a bigger space.
That's right.
So I'm excited to see what he comes up with there. So thanks in advance, Joe. But now moving on. Enough about us.
Enough business.
Yes, you guys braved the storm. So let's bring up the magazine. So
look at that.
Everybody can see us, and they can see what's on that screen. That's what I voted for.
That's what you
amazing.
voted for.
Yeah, that was my vote for the magazine cover.
The cover.
Well, your wish was granted.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a few people voted for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's on the front of the magazine. But
Yes.
So what car is it?
so it is a 356 of some sort, shot by Dave Jones from Colorado Springs. Actually, so he's with a cool outfit called Monster Motors Hot Rod Garage, and what they do is they have a space to put together cars in support of veterans.
It definitely looks like a 356A.
Yeah, bent window.
Yep, it's an early. Yeah, right. It's an early car for sure with the bumpers, and I love the mirror right on the side.
Yep.
Am I going to be persona non grata if I say I never really understood the 356?
No.
No, you're right. Until you drive a couple of them,
Yeah,
then they kind of come around. Yeah.
It is a gorgeous car, and it's a wonderful cover. I was thrilled to death to be able to run this on our cover, as I would have been with any of our entrants. Thank you again to everyone who shot us a cover on our cover contest, and keep an eye on our Facebook and socials. We'll be running another cover contest before you know it. But yeah, no, that was a shout out to Dave Jones. Just fantastic work on the shot. Love the car.
Yeah, that's a super cool, gorgeous car. I would love to see that here someday. Well, cool. Well, I'll kind of. I mean,
Should we introduce their magazine real quick?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I could introduce it. I technically
yeah.
do.
Why don't you do that? Because I think everybody that's listening has probably heard the stuff before.
I'm sure, but
just in case there's
just in
somebody
case.
new,
No, everyone wants to hear it again.
I think they should. Yeah.
Yep.
So my name's Brendan Garst. I'm the editor-in-chief of Shift Colorado magazine. What we are is we are a local, enthusiast-based and enthusiast-driven publication that is currently digital only, but an interesting thing for us that we're breaking it up this time is we are pushing to print issue 6.
Awesome.
We've struggled with that one for a long time. We've always had people asking us for print copies of the magazine. We had one really cool benefactor of our first issue. Shout out Mr. Lowry, if you're out there. Dave Lowry Insurance printed about 20 to 30 copies of our first issue for us, and a few for him as well.
Nice.
But we haven't been in print since because, as it turns out, it costs a lot of money.
Right. Right.
But then, the avenue that we pursued, we found out about Kindle Direct Publishing, and that's letting Daddy Bezos take care of a little bit of the bill there.
Nice.
So we found a way that we can publish this kind of directly via Amazon and keep costs down so people can buy a reasonably priced copy of the magazine that, ostensibly their car is in or had a show that was featured in or something like that.
Yeah.
And we can get it down to a price that's a lot more reasonable. So we're really, really excited about that. We'll be working on that for probably another 2 to 3 weeks, getting a print proof done and just a few other things that you have to do, a couple extra steps that we are going to be kind of new at because we haven't really gone through the printing game yet. But no, super excited to be able to offer a paper copy of this as well. So
It's like the movie Elf, right? In the beginning where he signs off on the last page being blank. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Great movie.
I missed Elf, but I did send John a contract last night.
It's true. I signed it.
Well,
We're trading appearance fees for
Exactly.
for the licensing to Lewis. So
nice. Nice. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
it's all above board.
Yeah,
I think
right.
so.
Apparently John is pimping out his son. All right.
Ooh, when you put it like that.
That
All right.
went in a good direction. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, do we want to talk about that article?
Sure.
That would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
awesome.
It's going to be the first one after the tables of contents, if memory serves.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is amazing. I haven't seen any of this. Right?
So shout outs to that cover image, by the way. I don't know if that was staged or not, but that is that couldn't have really gotten any better, could it?
Yeah. So for those of you listening, you've heard Lewis on the show kind of talking about our trip in Monterey. And we had him write an article about it to kind of commemorate the trip. And then Brendan was kind enough to say, if Lewis wants to put that article in our magazine, I'll give it some professional edits and, kind of go through it. And we'll, I gave him full access to my whole camera roll.
Boy.
I don't know what else is coming up, but
We need to talk about how you deliver media in the future, by the way.
deliver media.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly. But I just think this is really cool. So thank you very much. I'm excited to order a bunch of these, have Lewis autograph them, and send them out to his grandparents and things like that.
Yep.
But I thought Lewis did a great job writing this, and I think with a professional touch, kind of tweaking it and just massaging the message. I think it came out really well. So I'm super happy, and hopefully people will enjoy it, and it'll make people want to go out to Monterey because we're already planning our trip for next year.
I mean, let's do the VH1 behind the music here. John edited it harder than I did.
I picked up a couple things.
Just kidding, but John did find some great things this morning while I was laying out the.
I was
finals.
there.
You were
right?
there,
So there were things like when we got the tickets to the Quail, we weren't in suits.
Right.
So
you didn't pay the $10,
and I also didn't pay the $10 because the guy never asked for it.
Right.
So anyway,
but that's a point of the article, right? We're on a search for the guy.
yes.
So real quick, for the people that are just listening to it, the article that Lewis wrote, it's called "Meeting Your Heroes: Monterey Car Week Through the Eyes of a 10-Year-Old." That's pretty fantastic.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, to go to an event of that caliber at that age is a really cool thing.
For sure. I mean, that by itself is super interesting I mean, there's not a person that gets this magazine is not going to read that article.
Oh, 100%, especially with that first
Oh,
photo. It's like an immediate
image.
hook.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah,
then that
Lewis in
10-year-old
disbelief.
also happens to be a Dicey.
It does have to be a Dusty. Yep.
Dumb luck
Yep.
on that one.
Yeah. I love his sweatshirt. It's a Lamborghini.
The Lamborghini.
Yeah. No, it was.
But
and
anyway.
what I love about that trip, and we've said it before, is just that my experience on that trip was better because Lewis was there. You know, I wouldn't have had the access. I wouldn't have had any of it without sharing it with him and also my dad. So thanks to both of you. Read all about it here. I don't know.
That's pretty sweet. Hey, I mean, standing there taking pictures with icons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Not
hanging
the
out with
cars.
Gordon Murray,
Yeah,
no big deal.
Yeah, the
much.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just the cars. The
Yeah,
people.
I love the picture of them together, but I like the one of him like just standing on stage in a Panama hat next to Mr. Panama hat next to Gordon. Like that's when they were revving the shit out of the T50.
The T50.
Nicky Lauda.
Yeah.
and like
Right.
if you Top Gear had a post, and they're like down with the crowd and we're up on stage and you can see me and Lewis like hanging out next to Gordon. It's just stupid. So anyway, thank you very much for putting that in, putting the time in to do a re-edit on all of it. So
Well, is he still going to pursue his free tickets for
hell
next year?
yeah. No, one of the magazines we're going to buy, I am absolutely going to have Lewis autograph and post-it note, and we're going to FedEx it with delivery confirmation to Matt Farah.
Nice.
So
With confirmation, even I like
oh
it.
yeah, you gotta have signature confirmation.
The full
I know
guilt trip.
I know you got it.
The documented guilt trip.
Yes, exactly. So I
like
know.
it.
I thought that was really fun.
No, what a cool piece to put together too. Just something I was really thrilled to lay out and just be able to kind of look through your photos, as weird as that sounds, and
I made them available.
Right.
Yep.
just kind of see what things were like through kind of the lens of what you picked up. And I'm assuming Lewis shot some of those too, right?
Most of those were him.
Okay.
Yeah, most of those were his.
I mean, he didn't shoot the ones he's in.
when
That'd
they-
be difficult.
Exactly. But no, most of the car shots were Lewis. Yep. Pretty wild.
And then what we're staring at here, these are fantastic images, by the way. And I mean, my first impression was like, wait a minute, is that an ad? No.
No, it's only sponsored content.
The ad comes later.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The ad
like,
comes
holy
later.
moly.
This is sponsored content. It's like an ad, but it's a story.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that's
well-
and I've never been out to this thing, this Magic of Lights at Pikes Peak International Raceway.
These are a lot of fun. We've been to the Pikes Peak one, I believe, before. We've also me and my wife have gone to a couple of them up north. They're
Bandamere.
not Bandamere. I've never been to Bandamere.
They're doing it again this year, I think, for the last time.
Oh, nice.
So the Porsche Club's going.
Awesome.
That's right. I saw that.
Yep.
And then I remember the one at the Yogi Bear campground.
Oh,
You remember
yeah.
that? Like right on the side
I've
of
never
I-25?
actually been to the Yogi Bear campground.
Me neither. I
But-
would just see this weird
The
light
the
setup.
crazy light show.
Yeah, and cars, hobbling through this stuff, and and then someone said it's a great idea until you get there and it's $60. And you're like, what?
Ooh.
Damn.
That was
Yogi
years
Bear's
ago.
making bank.
Yeah, that
No,
was-
I think they're a lot more reasonably priced here at Pikes Peak International Raceway at $39 for a carload.
there you
That's
go.
not bad at
That's
all.
Bring
how
as
that
many
works.
people as you want
Yeah.
for
Right.
$40.
Exactly.
Wish we still had a Lincoln Navigator.
Ooh, game in the system.
That would have
Right.
that would have done it.
Yeah. Oh, but we're getting a. I
We
can't talk
have to-
about it yet.
We have to talk about. We should go back to the light show later, but there's a different article we should do that in the context of. So let's talk about Morgan Adams.
Yes.
That was a great night, wasn't it?
It's the best thing.
It's the best
There's
thing.
a lot of best things, but this one, that show, I think they do such a good job on the cars, the airplanes, the flight demonstrations, and everything like that is just awesome. It's a really good excuse for us to come up to Denver and go do something. You know, I try to kick out of work a little early, but great foundation. And a really fun evening, a reason, excuse to get dressed up in the middle of the summer and go just kind of hang out. It was the week after Monterey for us, and Lewis had a fit because he didn't get to go look at the Bugatti that was like at the front of the exhibit. And I was like, dude, we were just in Monterey seeing all this stuff. He was like, but that wasn't there.
I mean, that is a Type 57 Atlantic.
Yeah. So it's the cars that are there are just epic. So what is it? Joan Slaughter? Is that the name of the woman that runs the foundation?
Yeah, so Joan Slaughter is the executive director of the foundation. We had a chance to sit down and chat with Joan a little bit about the mission, which was really cool to just get her perspective on kind of their mission, why they do what they do. And, you know, the car show is really the backbone of the founding for the foundation, which kind of works in the realm of researching for children's cancer. So, I mean, what better way could you really find to combat that than probably the best car show that we have in Colorado in general?
Mm-hmm. It's fun to me because it feels exclusive, but anybody can go. You know what I mean? But when you're there, you feel like you're part of the elite.
I could see that.
Right? I mean,
That could resonate.
We dressed up. We got to get on a Gulf Stream. You know,
Oh, did
like-
you guys actually go on the golf
yeah.
stream?
Mhm.
The line's
Absolutely.
always too long. I never do it.
No, you just gotta
do it?
time it, and having children helps. But yeah,
Were they scalping tickets in front of the Gulf Stream too?
No, you just put them in line and have one of them throw a fit, and they're like, "Oh, you should go in front of me."
Right this way, sir. Let's get the screaming child on the airplane.
Exactly.
Very
Yeah.
strategic.
Uh-huh.
Very strategic. No, I mean, just what a great show in general. And you know, I missed a good amount of it this year, but I missed it for a good reason. We had a photographer get here late, so shout out Edgar. And while I was waiting up front to get another credential, I swapped to my credential because we were running out of light and we wanted to get him in and shooting as fast as possible. I got to chat with a couple of people who were volunteering at the front door, and these folks at the front door had actually they were folks who had been a sponsor family of Morgan Adams before. And I got to have a really good conversation with them about what the foundation did for them, you know, as they were going through probably one of the hardest things that anyone can go through in their entire life, right? Having a family member with, you know, a terrible disease like pediatric cancer. And it was just really amazing to talk to these folks and kind of get their story too. So, you know, some things happen for a reason. Again, shout out Edgar. The other interesting story I have from that night is I watched someone spill one of those plastic champagne fluids on the Type 57, and that was uncomfortable.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
Yikes.
They're both French. That should be fine, right?
Just grape
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah.
Right.
That's honestly, for the first probably 10 years that thing existed, that's probably how it was washed.
That's true.
Champagne.
Champagne.
They just blast this thing. It's good at taking bugs off.
Right.
Yeah. What a car, though.
Yeah.
That's a real unique get. I mean, that has got to be one of the most interesting things I think I've seen at a Colorado show ever.
The Mohawk.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's riveted together in two halves.
Or the 8 exosts.
That
Oh,
The
sure.
8 exhaust
Yep,
tips
that's
that
a
are
good
the
one.
size of, you know,
Yeah.
a pencil.
Right.
It breathes through pipettes.
It's like those, like the Pepe Le Pew cigarette.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And you know, the story right after it too was the extra innings. So Morgan Adams did some additional shows this year where they I believe they had a Tour d'Elegance on Friday where they drove down to Colorado Springs and back with some of the cars from the Concours, and then on Sunday they did a Cars and Coffee event at this house. And you know, I've been excited to ask you guys because you're close-ish to my age range. Do you guys have the justification for higher education poster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of.
Yeah, very much.
Right.
Just the cars kind of set up against the backdrop of the house. But no, it was just a great Cars and Coffee on a Sunday morning with just maybe a higher caliper of car than you would usually see at a Cars and Coffee. I got to say, getting a chance to see a 512 Berlin at a Boxer is a pretty awesome thing. And then getting the chance to chat with the owner, learn some things about the car. Car has a fairly rarely optioned wool interior, which seems like a real fragile thing to put in a car interior.
Right.
It's coming back.
Wool?
Yeah. I think it's the Volvo XC40. There's an optional wool interior.
There's an optional wool interior in Volvo
Yeah.
land. Wow.
Yep.
Isn't it's like all wool, like the seats?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't think the dash is wool, but yeah, the seating surfaces and the doors. Yep.
I kind of hope the dash is wool. I hope they want 100% wool.
Well, I mean, it's not vegan.
It's a dry clean only interior.
Right.
At least he didn't kill a cow.
Yeah, you got to drop it off for martinizing every once.
Yeah.
So
I think that's probably part of your service plan.
I love it.
And hopefully you don't find out that you're allergic to wool.
Yeah.
My question is if they put heated seats in it, or if they were just like, they'll be plenty warm.
I think so. Exactly.
Fabric seats.
Yep. It's got like socks that you just put your legs in.
That would be fun. Yeah.
But yeah, the chance to do a little bit of extra Morgan Adams this year was really, really cool, and chance to just go kind of walk around a low-key environment. Because Morgan Adams is, I'm not going to call it stressful, but it's definitely intense.
Sure.
There's a lot of people there. And then this was just kind of a lot more low-key, open air. Probably the closest I'll ever get to a Bugatti. Got to shoot a picture through the window of the interior.
Well, there you go.
That's pretty cool. And Joan has done such an incredible job of absolutely embedding herself right in the community.
Absolutely.
That helps support all this, and they're giant supporters. I mean, I know I've had the opportunity to meet Joan multiple times, and through Morgan Adams stuff, and but the people like her, the biggest supporters, let's say at the Concours d'Elegance, there's a couple people there with cars and planes and things like that, that they're year-round contributors. And it's not just, where they go to the car show and, wind up raising their paddle, for vacations, during the live auction stuff. These are people that are hosting dinners, right? And it's $500 a plate at their house. And all of this money, goes to the Morgan Adams Foundation. So, and then at the time, of the big event, you've got these $100,000 donations being made because they've been raising money throughout the year for it.
Another cool story was just in getting a chance to chat with Joan too. After the night of and everything, we got a chance to sit down and do an interview. When she initially heard the idea of kind of funding the research and the foundation with the Concours, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I don't remember this being off the table or off the record. So she thought it was a crazy idea. She never thought that something like this could actually fund, a significant amount of research. And, she said what she really thinks is the coolest thing now is seeing the enthusiasts that come together to put this together and turn it into what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Think about how many just mediocre car shows there are.
Most
right?
of them.
Yeah.
Many of them.
Yeah. So to be able to do this, it's not something that should work, but it's her and her team that are able to pull something together and then, have built it into just an awesome event that, it was different than Car Week, but it was no less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You basically get a one-night exposure to Car Week is what I would call the gala. It
was great.
And then, the team she's put together too. We also had Eric Bergman on the interview. Shout out Eric. Eric is Eric's kind of the automotive aficionado that kind of helps out with the decision making on what's in the show and everything. And it was great to hear from him too, as far as what kind of makes the cut, what doesn't make the cut, what they do and what they aim to do with kind of the cars that they pick and everything. So. Just a really cool chance to chat with the owners, find out more about the mission, and just a great show to go to in general. It's easily one of the best perks of the job. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, right.
Yep, that was very cool.
And John hosts fantastic hotel room parties.
Woo! Not everything is about me.
Wow,
but I will take that one too.
Not everything, just
not
the first
everything,
two.
but when it's yep.
Got one.
You guys have an RT10 right now, don't
We
you?
do. We have a yellow one. Yep.
We got another banana snake.
Another banana snake, but yours is actually good, right?
It's a nice
It's
car.
a really nice
It's a
car.
really nice car.
And the driver's door opens now.
Ooh,
Yep.
it's always a good thing to have.
Yep.
I'll talk about this one. Let's chat about some Legos.
Oh, Legos.
Hey, we got Legos right here.
Got Legos right here. So this was a fun one for me. So I've always seen these kits on various websites like Temu or AliExpress that are like, you can build this Lego set that is just like you can build this building brick construction toy set. Don't sue me.
Right.
That's just like a name branded kit of a certain construction toy playset from Bill in Denmark. But I actually wound up ordering about as much of these as it cost to build one large Lego set, and that pile on the front page is what I was able to accomplish for the same $400 that it cost to buy the Bugatti in the background.
Holy moly.
That's pretty amazing.
And just kind of went through the various scales and what's kind of available out. There's just some really cool stuff out there now. It's a great time to be interested in building block related toys and also cars. Which
Right.
There's a good amount of crossover too.
Very, very true. I just saw that they've got a full-size Optimus Prime that transforms.
Oh,
Well, okay, not full-size.
Yeah, I was like,
How long
that's
does
huge.
that
All right, fair. But I would, on this scale, I would say he's probably a 12th. He's probably a
12th.
He's probably a 12th scale.
yeah. It was really interesting kind of seeing what the various time commitments are kind of by scale too, because I think it's pretty uniform over the various scales, which is interesting. The 132nd one was kind of a little one-off. That was a kit that came to me packed and shipped from another country for $3.
Whoa.
Which
Holy moly.
it's just amazing to me how manufacturing works.
if you melt
now.
down that plastic, what's that worth?
I don't think you're going to get your $3 back. It might be worth more unmelted.
All right.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Well, looks like gold.
$3 to ship it from another I mean, $3 including
$3 including shipping.
including shipping.
Was that after like spinning a wheel and getting a discount?
I
Or
did
is that
not
just-
spin a wheel for a discount.
Wow.
Have you watched your credit card charges since?
I've only watched myself go out and buy more of these. This is dangerous. The first hit was expensive, and the second hit is more expensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'll tip my hand. I love Legos. Building brick toys. I have always enjoyed building brick toys, and I'd built one 1/8 scale model from the brand before, and I was bummed because I couldn't build the GT3 RS that they had done before the Lamborghini that I built. You could, but the only way you could get it, because the kit had been discontinued, was by spending like $900, $1,000 for that kit.
Was that the orange one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw the same thing advertised, on one of those Facebook ads, like, oh, there's no way this is going to work. This thing's going to be missing parts. And then you can see the SF90 Stradale is kind of ramping off of it over on the right, and you can get it in golf colors.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's way cool.
What's a better livery than golf? But it's interesting seeing kind of the times it takes to build these. A 124th is kind of what they would call Speed Champions car. That's roughly an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then the 112th cars, those take more like 4 or 5. If you're a slow adult like me, I'm sure a kid is probably a lot faster. 1/10th car, so this bad boy right here,
Yeah.
somewhere in the 6, 7, maybe 8 hour range, depending on how bad the instructions are. And spoilers, some of the instructions are real bad.
Oh boy.
And then the 1/8 cars, those are really more like that's a project. That's like a 14 to 18 hour type of ordeal.
Sure.
Like you build that over a week.
Yeah.
But no, I got to build all of these. I got to kind of rank the instructions, see how many pieces I was missing. And the cool thing was they all came together.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
So I had to order parts twice in 11 cars, roughly 19,000 pieces. I was missing 2 or 3.
Wow. Wow.
Which was very, very impressive. But
Yeah.
also the pricing difference too, because if you're interested in Legos, you pretty much or building bricks. You pretty much need a full-time job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because like this kit, for example, from the On brand is roughly, I think, $160.
So I was going to say 170. Yeah.
$30.
Wow.
And all you have to do is contend with some instructions that are lightly in Chinese. Lightly.
Yeah.
It's all pictures.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
But yeah, no, built through a lot of different things and explored some other things too, like things that are not necessarily an on-brand kit. So that Countach there, for an example, which was the worst thing I've ever built.
Why?
So the picture below, the picture of it looking like a dune buggy, that thing had a tendency to just, any part that I grabbed it by, it would fall apart and leave that part in my fingers and the rest of it lawn darting into the floor. So that is the debris field from where the Countach augured in from roughly 5 feet AGL and nailed my carpet and exploded into its component parts.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Remember those things you used to make out of popsicle sticks? Where you'd take like popsicle sticks and make a triangle, and then you'd put a couple sticks through them, and if you threw them at the wall, they'd explode into popsicles.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, like a spring-loaded.
Yeah,
You're making a
spring-loaded
spring-loaded popsicle stick.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was their trick on this one.
Right.
I think their trick was just not particularly high quality building blocks, because sometimes you would like squeeze them together and they'd fall off the bottom. But that now resides in my bookcase and will never be moved again until the heat death of the universe.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Don't let the cleaning lady move it. It's like, no.
Do you know any engineers that can like measure the parts to see how different they are?
Oh yeah, like getting torque specs on the stud clamping force of the off-brand building block toy construction brick.
I think that'd be really interesting.
That would be interesting to approximately 4 people, I think.
Well, 3 others.
You'd be among them.
Yeah, I would.
Right.
All right.
But no, that was a really fun article because I got to build a lot of building brick toy.
All right. So you were saying 14 hours plus 6 hours plus 4 hours. So that's a day.
It's a day.
That's a full day.
Mm-hmm.
Plus another 2 hours. So
Plus another 2 hours just to get the scale picture.
Yeah.
And I built 11 models in total, including 2 1/8s.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
well, there you go.
Interesting.
That SF90 Stradale
That looks
model
really cool.
was that was almost 4,000 pieces.
Holy cow.
And we track this to an insane level of detail with a spreadsheet that there's a link to. So if you want to see the true power of a spreadsheet from an accountant on building brick toys, everything you'll want to know, including links to these things, is on that spreadsheet.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So let's move on to the LC, because I think we've got someone here other than me who can speak to this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, LC was a really cool experience. I had only seen this car maybe once, and it was kind of tucked away in a Mike Ward parking lot. I think I saw it on like a...
Who's that?
I don't know.
Is this your friend?
No. But no, so I saw it, parked away. It was just on like a supercar Saturday kind of thing. And I'd always liked the sci-fi look of them, but I hadn't really done much investigation into them. So when, Brendan and the rest of the shift crew were like, hey, we got an LC, we're looking for somebody to review it, I was ready for it. So
Yeah.
But I got to drive that around for a full day, just through various different traffic types. It was on I-25 and in traffic, and and then I also got it out into some of the canyons and got to feel how the car was behaving. And it was just a really surprising experience for me because I didn't do a ton of research on the car ahead of time, and I was just overwhelmingly surprised by how cool it was that they brought all of these fun elements into it, especially the interior and like the door cards in particular. I think I even remember commenting on that.
You did comment on the door cards because I remember reading that and thinking, wow, he gets into the details.
Yeah, man. Like the door cards themselves, they look like they're an art piece practically. But also just the fact that it's a naturally aspirated 8-cylinder, especially in this day and age, and it's rear-wheel drive. I just was, again, pleasantly surprised by it, and materials were all good. It just satisfied a lot of cravings that a regular car enthusiast would like to see in a car, excluding it being manual, of course.
Right.
But
Right.
But overall, just really cool package. Definitely has that Grand Touring feel to it. And it also helped that we had one of the higher trim models, if I'm not mistaken. So it had some rear steer capabilities. I remember driving it before knowing that, and I was like, man, the way that this thing can make a U-turn is just kind of mind-blowing. But But yeah, otherwise, I think the roof was carbon.
The roof was carbon.
Okay.
And that was such a cool like contrast with the car. So overall, just awesome experience. And the paint was crazy, cadmium orange. It looked amazing in the sun.
I'm glad you remembered that because I think in some of the videos that I shot of it, I kept saying iridium orange, which that's not a thing. So I sound really smart.
It still sounds fancy.
It sounds fancy.
Does it look Toyota Supra from the back?
You know what I get is baby LFA.
Yeah, same.
Okay, I can see that too.
I see what you mean by the Supra,
It's
though.
the little ducktail up there and kind of that triangle.
Really cool thing about those taillights is that they have a basically like an infinity mirror in them, kind of like what you would see at SEMA builds from like an R32 or something like that. But it's from the factory, and it's kind of a nice touch, honestly.
So the taillights just go on forever.
They just go on forever.
Wow.
It's interesting, but it's polarizing. I've heard people go both ways on those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, another great thing that we got to do is we got to get our photographers out to play too, and that's my favorite thing to do is go on roller shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Those roller shoot days are like everybody's just so excited.
Do you put someone in the trunk?
You know, we haven't tried that yet.
They got a guy for you if you need help.
You got a guy?
Yeah. He's got harnesses.
Ooh.
So
you mean the photographers in the
I
trunk?
was gonna
Yes, we
say.
do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We have that.
If you put a guy.
Sorry, I thought you were talking to the review car. Like, why?
Yeah. Just to see.
Get another camera.
You know, I mean, what is it?
You just get them to pop out or to really.
The straight pipes guys try to figure out how many boxes they can get in the back.
Right.
You should see how many staffers you can get in the trunk.
Our
That'd be-
co-editor Chris tries to
Yes.
figure out how much spaghetti we can get into the trunk volume of any given thing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
And we still haven't done the math on the spaghetti capacity of the LC 500, but for as far as amateur auto journos go, it can seat two comfortably, and two more uncomfortably if you really don't like them.
Yeah. It's got Jaguar F-type door handles.
It does. I mean, there's a lot of interesting comparators here, but what's interesting is I couldn't really nail down a 1-to-1 car to compare this against.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got performance that's sort of maybe 850 or M8, somewhere in the middle. The weight is more than both of them. That's what I'm still trying to figure out is the weight.
How'd
on
they do
this
that?
thing. Where is the weight?
Yeah.
Because it is a heavy. It's a big boy. I think it's a little bit over 4,300 pounds.
So I'm glad you say that it
That's
is
way
big,
less than an M8.
because we.
No, the
Really?
M8 is lighter.
I mean, we've had not a 23, but we've had LC 500s here. We've had two. We've had a black one and a red one. It's a much bigger car in person than what it looks like in the photos. It is a big car.
It is a big car.
Yeah, but it's.
But I mean, I wouldn't say it's like materially bigger or smaller than an 8 Series, though, right?
Right. No.
And another comparator you might think of as F-Type, except it's nowhere near the ballpark of the price range of the
Right.
F-Type. So it was really interesting trying to find something to cross shop this against.
It's a super unique looking car.
Yeah.
I mean, especially from the front end. And actually, John, if you go back one slide, the photo that, or two slides, I guess. The photo just from there, the angle in that where you're looking at that passenger side, going down the passenger side of the car, that is such a unique design. I mean, it's really intriguing. And then seeing it in person, it's a very substantial piece that's there. It's cool. It makes you look at it.
It does.
It definitely captures your eye. So
Definitely.
And another cool thing we had this time was we had a local enthusiast of the LC 500 get in touch with us and bring his own LC 500 out to play with us. So
cool.
shout out to James Buff. Thanks for bringing your cab. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
very cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, one of my friends said that they would describe these as kind of the Japanese Aston Martin, which I think is a good way to describe the car.
And we've talked about it before. It might have been actually with you, Brendan, as far as, I mean, who offers a naturally aspirated V8 anymore?
Yeah.
Very, very few
Yeah,
people.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's super cool that this is out there.
Or I do if anyone wants to buy a 2008 Audi R8 R-Tronic. See me after class.
We won't be R8 twins anymore.
I recognize the picture you've got there. Oh, there's another one. There's the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Museum right here in town.
So we shot that right before we were on your show last.
Oh,
No way.
fantastic.
We were down here an hour early and we
That's
shot at the
right.
Olympic Center during Viper Day.
I do remember that. Yeah, now that you say that, I remember, yeah.
And we've got a great shot of Preston down there at the wheel well doing his thing.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, what a photogenic place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I got to say, I'm disappointed that Porsche doesn't give us press cars. You were supposed to do that while you were in Germany.
There's a classic.
Doesn't matter. They know somebody.
Get a classic press car.
Kind of what I learned over there is they don't know anybody.
No. All right. Well,
So if we
Sorry, Bucky.
if we roll through what we got here, we've got this one from our one of our website and story contributors, Nate. He's a great dude. He goes out and does all these off-road events. This was the We Rock Grand Finals in Farmington, New Mexico, and there's just a whole lot of shots of Jeeps rolling and climbing and just really interesting things. I think the one after this was the weirdest photo shoot I've ever been on. Yes.
Telluride.
This one was interesting. So we went to probably the most nebulously described photo shoot I've ever been to. We had someone get in touch with Steve and say, "Hey, I'm going to have some McLarens. Would you like to drive to Telluride to shoot them?" And we had heard it might be a lot of P1s. I was kind of on the fence about it, and I had a photographer who was very into it, so we decided to go ahead and do it. And we drove to Telluride. We met Nate, who wrote the We Rock article, because he lives in Montrose.
is that 6 hours?
It was roughly 7 all in.
Okay,
So it's
yeah,
about
I don't remember. So,
5.5 to 6 to Grand Junction, and then about another hour and a half to Telluride.
Okay.
So we met up, and we get to the site of the photo shoot, and we wind up hanging out on a tour bus for the Telluride Autumn Classic,
Okay.
because McLaren themselves were in the garage working on the cars. We still don't know what the event is. We don't know what we're shooting. And McLaren isn't leaving. We were put in the RV. There was a DVD of Miami Vice playing.
Nice.
The original. So we watched a few hours of Miami Vice. We went into town. We shot a couple of shots of hanging out on the gondola. I took some pictures of construction equipment. It was golden hour. But yeah, we just bummed around Telluride, and then we finally got access to the garage. And what we got access to, I think the next page is probably
Wow.
a little bit more than we were expecting. So we had heard some McLarens. We did not hear that there were going to be McLaren F1s, including a McLaren F1 LM, as well as McLaren F1 chassis XP4, which was a prototype, converted to a road car and then converted to LM spec.
Wow.
Just this absolutely bonkers shoot that we got to be a part of, and do on our own.
it looks like they all live there. Or is this just a special place where they all ended up?
This is a special place where they all ended up. Okay. So this is a car storage place in Telluride, and what it was it's the McLaren F1 Owners Club gathering, and they ship their cars to a place during a year, and they'll go on a drive. McLaren will come out and support them. So we saw the roadie case that has the ancient 1992
laptop.
Toshiba laptop.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually saw the Toshiba laptop.
I hope it has a Shift magazine sticker.
Sticker.
I didn't know if it'd be too expensive to put a sticker on the laptop. I
Yes.
figured I might get a bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
But
cow.
they were doing all this work just to get the cars to be able to drive to Denver the next day.
Wow.
But yeah, we got to hang out and shoot kind of to our heart's content with 3 F1s, multiple Senna GTRs, multiple P1 GTRs, P1s, normal Sennas, just this bonkers array of things. This room of cars had to be worth like 140, 150 million bucks
Wow.
easy.
Wow.
The next page, I think we have a few more shots of, so you got Nate doing his work there, and our buddy Edgar as well doing his work. And just some of the kind of the crazy shots that we got while we were in there.
Do not start this car.
Do not start this car. And then we retreated back to the bus, went to bed for about 2 hours, and drove back to Denver. So that was an interesting night.
Holy moly. Yeah.
First time I've ever been to Telluride and got to watch a good amount of Miami Vice.
That's pretty sweet.
Like OG Crockett OG Crockett's pretty rad.
Yeah. Tubbs and Crockett. Absolutely.
Like Houseboat, Alligator. They didn't really do that in the Michael Mann remake.
These images are amazing.
Yeah.
They are fantastic, and we have probably, I think we have probably 400 or so. It was really hard to kind of narrow it down to
Sure.
a collage for the article here, but we have a lot posted on the socials for those two, which are at the bottom of the page. So if you want to check those out, those are out there.
And I have to imagine an event like that is pretty top secret. I mean, it's not they're not making social media posts on, hey, come see us off at take
No,
off from
no,
wherever,
that
like,
was
no-
very, very secret, and
Yeah.
we were required to hang out and wait in the tour bus until McLaren left. So I don't even know how secret, but we're grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is really cool. That is really cool. And then I recognize the vehicle vault in the background of those.
Got yeah. So we started doing shows where we do photography for interesting cars. So we'll arrive at the vehicle vault in the morning and we'll try and shoot through as many cars are interested in getting a profile piece written, and we kind of bank some articles that way. So it's good for us. We got to do this really epic Mark I Escort. It's just something you don't see here. you
Yeah,
know?
right.
I love the bumpers.
Yeah, no,
It looks
that's
like it's got a little, like a funky French stash.
right. Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's and this is an interesting car, the LS 400.
VIP is something people love or hate, but this was just another really fun day where me and my co-editor Chris Colton got up real early, and we went out and just shot rollers on a fall morning with Isaiah and his LS 400 VIP build. So it's a car that's on air suspensions, built very, very differently than how a traditional enthusiast might build a car. You get crazy camber, and I was joking with him, like, you must go through a lot of tires, and turns out he actually does.
When you roll on half of the tire.
Right.
When you roll on half,
Yeah.
the good news is you can turn it around and get another use out of it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, you got cords hanging out. No, I got lots.
No, I got
lots.
there's meat on that bone.
Well, and I love the Starlight.
The Starlight headliner. Yep.
That's got to take a while to put together.
Oh, the curtains.
Oh my gosh! look at
Curtains,
that.
the chandelier.
The Volvo needs curtains.
Ooh,
Opera window curtains. They're coming.
on a P1800.
Yeah,
I like
they're
it.
coming. Those are cool.
But
Just
yeah,
gotta make
just
sure the carpet matches the drapes, John.
Yeah, they do.
edgy. Yeah, if there's one word that gets our team out of bed early in the morning, it's rollers. I don't think there's anyone on our team who doesn't like roller shots.
Definitely a fact.
And I think that maybe leads me to the last one we should maybe close it out on. I think that's
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I am actually going to give this one to Marty because Marty was here that day.
Yeah, so we headed up north to Erie pretty early in the morning, and
What'd you drive?
I drove my Audi R8.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I was like, why not?
Right.
And it's kind of funny. The owner, he was like, "Oh, I heard you coming." Fun guy, really liked him. His name's Pietro.
Okay.
Shout out to Pietro, awesome guy.
Awesome guy.
But yeah, we got up there and they're just super, super hospitable and welcomed us into their home and everything. And Pietro opened up his garage and he had a Alfa Romeo 4C sitting next to the Ferrari Dino. So he's actually, before Brendan could even get the lapel mics onto Pietro, he was already going. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna use.
We're just doing it.
Yeah, I was like, we're just going for it. But yeah, I got a pretty cool YouTube video out of it where he talks about his whole story. And it's really cool to be around a vehicle that has this much personal history behind it, and it's been involved in a family for such a long time.
Right.
And like Pietro, he grew up with this car, and his dad had purchased it with his, if I remember correctly, it was his mother's retirement account.
It's at the bottom right before the yellow there.
Yeah.
It was, he had used his wife's retirement fund to make the
that's what it
purchase
was.
on her birthday
Yes.
without telling her.
Yep. But
That's bold.
And we're still together.
But
Holy moly.
but no, it's he had like a very strong emotional connection to the car, and when you have a car like this and you grow up with it and you see like your father save up for something like this, or take from our retirement funds.
Right.
It's
When you see someone save up for it,
it's just cool because that motivation can be instilled into the kids, and that was the case with Pietro, and I think even his sisters have Ferraris, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
But yeah, just very, very cool story. The car seems like it's in museum quality condition. Like it's just perfect.
And they drive it. I mean, it's registered.
Oh yeah,
it's registered, and we offered rollers, and he did not say no.
Yeah, except Brendan was going a little too fast for the Dino a couple of times.
My Kia Telluride is pretty sporty.
I've seen that thing.
That bottom right picture, though.
Dude, that
Yeah, look at that car.
That is Preston Bolliard, who I think was on the show with us 2 times ago.
Yeah.
Just outstanding photographer.
Yeah, I can't believe the photography and just videography skills that the Shift team has. It's
the team we've been
stunning.
able to put together for having absolutely nothing to offer anyone is pretty beyond me.
Right.
But yeah, shout out Preston, shout out Ryan Wesley as well, who was on the shoot that day. That is Pietro's dad's hat and driving gloves, which are always in the car.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
That was just such a great shoot and a great kind of chance to get the whole team together and do a really cool story. We all really enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah, like you say, I mean the car itself is obviously art. That's a beautiful car, but the story, behind it, that is the car.
Yeah.
Right. That's what makes the car.
And like the fact that this thing will be going on to its 3rd generation in the family soon is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's also bonkers to think that like Pietro grew up with this in Rome.
Yeah.
It's like,
wow.
what the heck, man?
Right.
Like you just don't hear about that.
Yeah. Well, you don't hear names like Pietro.
Absolutely.
In Erie, Colorado.
Yeah. And guess what? He drives a Ferrari.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's awesome. That is really cool. That's super interesting. But yeah, that's an amazing story.
It was good for sure. Very, very thankful to have experienced that
For
one.
sure.
Just quick shout out on the one you're scrolling through, John. Just want to shout out my friends on the Flying Horse Motorsports team. So had a 120-page magazine to lay out this week, so I decided to spend my last weekend in Texas at COTA, shadowing a racing team, so I could put together yet another article we probably didn't need, but is probably one of my favorite things that I've done solo this time around. Was just go out with an iPhone camera and build my own story based on what I was seeing in front of me. So I shadowed these guys doing a pair of 8-hour endurance races out at Circuit of the Americas in Texas, and that's a place everyone should get a chance to go visit.
Look at that elevation.
It's nuts in person.
Yeah.
You just can't get a good appreciation for how much elevation there
Yeah,
is.
it seems flat.
Yeah.
All the TV stuff.
TV or video game.
Yeah.
I thought the track was fake the first time I saw it in Forza. Like, no one paints asphalt.
Yeah.
And then I forgot this is America.
Right. Right.
But yeah, just kind of being a fly on the wall with an endurance racing team for an entire weekend of WRL racing. And the cool thing was they let us put our logo on the side of the car.
Look at that top left picture up there.
And after doing so, the car only got hit twice.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It finished both days. It was an amazing time out with some friends of the magazine and also Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, brought to you by Gran Turismo drivers.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, what a great experience. So shout out to Troy and Dan and Trevor and Mattis for letting me come with you guys.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Very fun. That would be a fun group of guys to hang around for a little bit.
It sure was.
Oh, wow. Jeez. I'm always super impressed with the amount of content that you guys put into this magazine. It still baffles me how much car culture there is in Colorado.
And that's the reason we put this together was to show off just the incredible kind of breadth and depth of what we have to offer in Colorado. This is a shout out to Marty.
Look at that.
That's your car.
Yeah.
As we have a very R8 rich state with at least 2 first gen R8s.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we got to do a profile on Marty, and again, this was Preston's photo shoot that got picked up and recognized by Audi.
Yep.
Nice.
Very cool.
So
Fantastic.
double shout outs to Preston.
There you go.
And then Chris, just last thing that I have for this one is we brought a second co-editor on board. So Chris Colton, who's been on the show a few times, welcome, Chris. stepped up to an editing role, which has been really great.
Don't die. Don't
Yeah.
die back there.
Yeah.
You need water.
Yeah, right.
Marty, say something about your R8.
Getting choked up about Chris over there, huh?
Yeah. Thank God that guy.
Oh, thank
man.
God, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tear to our eyes.
Oh man, that's. I mean, obviously you've got an impressive staff to put all this together. This is great. Yeah, no, this is super great.
Pretty cool.
I like it. I like it. I will definitely be looking for this in print, for sure.
I'll buy you one.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coming.
Then I'll ask Lewis to autograph. Don't
Yeah.
bring me one that's
I
already
won't. No.
autographed. I'll
Yeah.
ask him.
Got it. Sounds good.
I got something I want him to write.
We'll sell you one.
Yeah.
I'll buy one. I will buy one. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that was a fun day.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No,
What
absolutely,
do you think, guys?
I think so. I think that was this went really well. I think this is fantastic.
We do too. We always appreciate the opportunity to come down and chat with you guys about what we're doing and
Yeah.
what you're doing. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is good. John, you got anything to wrap it up with?
Should I find a song?
If you want to give it a shot.
Oh God.
And you guys come from so far, right, to come down here. That's
as Arvada, we've traveled incredible distances.
trust me, Arvada is like